The patient on this steel table is not a corpse. It is a natural rhythm. The human circadian rhythm, the last biological territory untouched by the global market. Today, that boundary has been systematically liquidated by $1 trillion alliance of light and code. When the CEO of Netflix publicly declared that their biggest competitor wasn't HBO, but human sleep, it wasn't a joke. It was a formal corporate declaration of war against your pineal gland. Every minute you spend unconscious is a black hole in their earnings. They engineered the blue light spectrum not as a technological triumph, but as a biological lasso designed to paralyze your melatonin production. They transformed the midnight hours into a multi-trillion-dollar harvesting field, forcing your brain to remain open for transactions. This is the clinical autopsy of the 4 trillion sleep heist. We will reveal how big tech broke your biology to capture your attention, and how Big Pharma stepped in to sell you the synthetic cure for the mutation they created. The incision begins now. We begin our examination at the invention of the infinite scroll. Strategic planners realize that if the content never ends, the brain's natural stopping cues are permanently deleted, creating an artificial, high-yield insomnia that locks the user to the screen. The autopsy reveals melatonin suppression necrosis. By replacing natural firelight with the cold, calculated blue light of LED screens, tech giants successfully tricked the suprachiasmatic nucleus into believing that midnight is actually noon, freezing your body's cellular repair mechanisms. Observe the perfect synergy between big tech and big pharma. Tech corporations create the cognitive hyperstimulation that makes natural rest impossible. Then, pharmaceutical conglomerates step in to sell you synthetic sedatives. They profit from the wound and then profit from the bandage. The rise of monetized insomnia. In the digital economy, the factory is your brain, and it never leaves your pocket. Your sleeplessness is the fuel that powers the 24-hour algorithmic high-frequency trading system. Midnight is the new rush hour. Examine the chemical architecture of sleep deprivation capital. When you are sleep-deprived, your prefrontal cortex loses control, shifting your behavior into pure impulsivity. A tired consumer is a reckless consumer, far more likely to make uncalculated impulse purchases. We find a massive blockage in the glymphatic filtration system. By cutting your deep sleep in half, corporations ensure the early onset of cognitive decline. Your long-term neurological health was traded directly for short-term corporate engagement metrics. The brain decays for dividends. Internal corporate memos reveal a chilling focus on bedtime metrics. They designed push notifications to trigger precisely at the moment of cognitive vulnerability, right before you drift off. A calculated vibration in your hand to drag you back into the extraction loop. Let's expose the night mode illusion. The yellow tint added to screens was a strategic psychological operation designed to soothe your guilt, allowing you to remain on the device longer without feeling the immediate biological panic of sleep destruction. Observe the algorithmic delivery of cortisol. To keep you awake, the algorithm elevates high conflict, triggering content into your feed during late hours. By chemically inducing stress and anxiety, they lock your body in a permanent fight or flight response. The streaming autophagy. Entertainment platforms introduced the autoplay next episode feature with a 5-second countdown to exploit the brain's natural inertia. Before your conscious mind can decide to rest, the next narrative hook has already pierced your attention. The white-collar economy has been completely desynchronized from the solar cycle. Global capital requires a population that treats time as an abstract, borderless sheet of pure production. The corporate state literally redesigned the biological timeline of humanity. Look at the wellness wearable counter-invasion. devices meant to track sleep are actually monetizing your anxiety about it. By turning rest into a competitive metric, tech companies created orthosomnia, an obsessive anxiety about perfect sleep that ultimately prevents it. The global coffee and energy industry doesn't sell flavor. They sell the temporary survival fuel required to function within an unnatural, sleep-deprived environment. The system breaks your biology, then sells you the liquid adrenaline to mask the necrosis. The unregulated supplement market is flooding shelves with massive doses of synthetic hormones. By over-supplementing, users trigger a permanent downregulation of their own biological receptors. Your body forgets how to sleep, locking you into a lifetime subscription. We find a direct correlation between inflation and the loss of rest. The working class is forced to monetize their nights through secondary gig economy apps. Capitalism successfully colonized the night by weaponizing the basic, brutal cost of survival. The screen time colonization of infants is the ultimate target. By creating addictive, flashing content for children, tech giants modify the neural architecture of the next generation before their brains can even form a stable biological circadian clock. REM sleep is where emotional processing occurs. By clipping this stage through late-night consumption, tech giants have created a highly reactive, emotionally unstable population that is far more susceptible to fear-based marketing and political polarization. By integrating smart assistants and connected screens into the bedroom, corporations established a permanent corporate surveillance panopticon directly above your pillow. Your dreams and your physiological vulnerabilities are wrapped in corporate telemetry. Satellite images reveal a planet that never sleeps. This light pollution is a strategic logistical grid designed to ensure that global consumption never drops below a baseline velocity. In the eyes of capital, darkness is completely unprofitable. New biometric bedding tracks your micro-movements and respiration. This data isn't just for wellness. It is sold directly to health insurance cartels to adjust your premiums based on your biological restlessness. Your rest is a financial penalty. The capitalist system has reached its physical limits of extraction during the day. To maintain the mandated annual growth, corporations had to invade the night. The $4 trillion sleep economy is the final, non-negotiable frontier of human extraction. Silicon Valley creates the crisis by designing addictive software and then funds the premium AI solutions to cure it. It is a perfect vertical integration of profit. Manufacture the biological sickness, sell the digital medicine. Governments have established strict limits on carbon emissions, but there are zero regulations on cognitive manipulation during the midnight hours. The corporate state has deliberately left the night unregulated to allow the tech cartel free rein over your biology. The Circadian Heist is the most complete corporate occupation in history. Trillion-dollar giants have successfully colonized the dark. The patient, natural human rest, is dead. What remains is a biological asset in a corporate portfolio. The surgical lamp flickers. The report is signed. We have documented the liquidation of the circadian clock. To the boardrooms, you are not a human being. You are just a static infrastructure that must never shut down. The glowing smartphone screen on your nightstand flatlines into darkness. The corporate colonization of the dark has been documented. Until the next corporate titan is dissected, this is Business Autopsy Insights. Report closed. Rest in peace. Sleep. Your price was convenience.